Social media plays a vital role in today's society. Hashtags can make political issues and social movements go viral within minutes. A simple share on Facebook can expose a whole piece of news to everyone that you're connected with, just by a simple click of a button. Today I would like to discuss how social media sites like Twitter and Facebook can bring political issues and social movements to the forefront of people's attention by the use of agenda setting and framing. If a story has enough critical mass online, that is to say, has enough eyes and supporters, then the news media has no choice but to give that story coverage. I will use examples like Black Lives Matter and Occupy Wall Street to show how social media can be a platform to catapult these social movements and political issues to the forefront of people's attentions. So what is agenda setting? According to Insight and Innovation by Rebecca Cornelia, agenda setting theory explains that the news media influences people's issue agenda by showing them what issues are important and what issues aren't, depending on how much coverage they give a story. This is the first level of agenda setting. The second level of agenda setting is how an issue, event, or person is framed. Framing is how we see the issue, story, or event, and you can frame a story in many different ways. For example, conflict frames dominate American media, and conflict frames, what they do is they focus on disagreements. Another example of a frame is a status quo or social change frame. And what these do is they take social movements or political movements and they show you how they're either helping society or hurting society. A key concept I would like to discuss in agenda setting theory is how other media affects news agendas. If something goes viral online, they have to pay attention to it. If you look at this in a purely business aspect, they would be losing clientele if they do not give these stories coverage, because everyone who interacts with the story online, everyone who shares it, hashtags it, whatever, is giving it its own frame and its own coverage, and that's taking eyes away from what they want your eyes to be on, which is their stations. So we see social media has a huge influence on what these stations are covering, and this is intermedia agenda setting. I'd like to talk about Black Lives Matter. And this movement, according to an article by Ryan Miller from USA Today entitled Black Lives Matter, a primer on what it is and what it stands for. This started online in 2013 after the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. And this began with a simple hashtag, which was co-founded by 3 community organizers. And the hashtag was hashtag Black Lives Matter. And what this represented was a call to action for all African Americans after George Zimmerman was acquitted of all charges in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. This went viral. I mean, it resonated with a lot of people. And soon after, the media started to pick up on this story and catapult it to the national spotlight. It became an organization, and they began organizing protests and all these other things. And it was just catapulted to the national spotlight because it went viral. The hashtag went viral on Twitter. Occupy Wall Street is another example of a movement that used social media to catapult itself to the forefront of people's agendas. It began September 17th, 2011 in Zuccotti Park, which is located in New York's financial district, Wall Street's financial district. What it wanted to do was bring attention to social and economic inequality worldwide. And what they set out to do was occupy Wall Street. They wanted to protest. And they used social media expertly, very expertly, to organize their protests and to circulate information online. According to Insight and Innovation, the media at first just dismissed this movement. They didn't want to pay much attention to it, and within the first few weeks of the initial protests, the media started to cover this story and focus on the issues that these protesters were bringing to the forefront. And this is important because, also according to Cornelia, historically, movements like this, they've had difficulty getting media attention. But with such a critical mass online, the media had no choice but to pick up on this story, and they did. These are just 2 examples of many issues that began online and influenced the media's agendas. The social benefits of this are just staggering. It means we have the ability to be informed citizens. It means we have the ability to bring our issues to the national spotlight. It means we can set our own agendas. And instead of the media telling us what is important, we can tell them what is important. And this is extremely, extremely revolutionary things, revolutionary stuff. We should be showing them what's important, obviously, and what needs to be covered, not the other way around. Intermedia agenda setting is very important, and it affects everyone, everyone in this country. So the next time you talk about politics, the next time you talk about social movements, just remember, you have the ability to bring these movements to the forefront, and you have the ability to make sure the media covers them. Thank you.